Honorable Men Discord. Let's talk Bruno Mars, the Romantic album. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
Welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And by all means, if you have something you'd like to share, I'll see you in the comment section. So, Bruno Mars has an album coming out February 27th, and it's called The Romantic. Some people like the first single that was released. Others feel like it's a lot of the same, and they seem to be complaining about it. But what I have queued up right now is three videos. One with Joe Budden's reaction to the single, and two from everyday people reacting to this single. So I want to get into the reactions, and then I'm going to speak about it further. So let's start with the first one.
Percent is a cultural appropriator. He is racially ambiguous. He is not black at all, and he plays up his racial ambiguity to be able to do what Jameer says, cross genres and go into different places. And you guys are bringing up Michael Jackson. Number one, me personally, I don't even think that Michael Jackson now in this day and age will be able to get to the point that he got to previously.
Facts.
And a huge part of that is because people have realized that they prefer their black music and their black culture from a non-black base. Absolutely. And you have Bruno Mars is not an original artist in the same way that Michael Jackson was an original artist, in the same way that Prince was an original artist. What Bruno Mars does is he takes pre-existing work and he just completely, word for word, recreates it, extrapolates it. He does not change it. He does not improve upon it. He does not make it better. He's a karaoke singer. He's a wedding singer. He's the person you hire to do Michael Jackson and Prince covers. Yet Bruno Mars has an Album of the Year Grammy and Prince never won an Album of the Year Grammy. So how are you gonna say?
Wow.
So how are you gonna say people that are originators in the funk genre, that are originators in the R&B, the New Jack Swing? Bobby Brown and New Edition don't have no Album of the Year Grammy. Bruno Mars got that Grammy because white people love him because he's not black. Period. The issue is we want our black culture from non-black bodies.
It's your man Delvin. Welcome to Delvin's Room. And bruh, the new single from Bruno Mars has been causing a lot of uproar, right? It's bringing back a lot of old discussions. Like, this was a scene that's going viral from the show Grapevine that came out in the 2010s. And sidebar, I wonder what happened to that show. People that was in the show. But nonetheless, Bruno Mars dropped a new single, and a lot of people have already seen. We've heard this song 5,000 times before. This is the same Uptown Funk that he did 10 years ago, right? And I think while she said a lot of truths, I believe she left out a few things to why this is happening. Now, one main point she made, and a lot of black people are making, which I agree with 1,000%, white audiences and just non-black audiences in general like black content and like black culture from non-black people. Hear that again. White audiences and non-black audiences.
Now, you know I had to pause this because one, shout out to Delvin's Room. It's Delvin's Room. I have to give him his credit because obviously I'm playing his video, but I'm not going to make this about his video. Here's the thing, man. People. First of all, the same people who are saying it's a lot of the same from Bruno Mars, were you not enjoying the music when it was hot? I don't care how many years ago it was. Were you not enjoying the music? Why all of a sudden now is a problem? Listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what you're going to get from this guy. You know, yes, he likes to recreate, I guess, classic moments or periods. He likes to recreate certain timepieces and put his own spin to it. He's capitalizing from it. Am I mad at him for doing that? No. Because that's his brand. He didn't come out any other way. It's like, listen, Bruno Mars, keep doing what you're doing. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. And this is one thing that I'm learning, and I'll continue to learn new things as I continue to age, is you're never going to make people happy. And if you're doing things based on what the people are saying, you'll get nothing done. Because you can always have one side saying, do this, do it this way. Another side do it that way. And the funny thing is, most of the people that are trying to tell you how you should be doing something have no experience in that which you want to do. I'm going to say it again. Most of the people that have strong opinions about what you should be doing have no experience in that which you want to do. Which is why just keep doing what you're doing. All right? God forbid I shouldn't say God forbid, it's not that serious. If Bruno Mars came out repping a gang and he had a bandana on his head, you'd be like, he's trying to appropriate himself in the gang culture to get the streets. What could that man do? You see how Bruno Mars looks? And then now you want to say he's not black. He's a mixture of many nationalities. I actually looked it up, and I'm going to look it up while in real time while you guys are here with me. All right? Let's ask, what's Bruno Mars' nationality? What's Bruno Mars' nationality?
Bruno Mars is American. He was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, and his heritage is a mix of Filipino and Puerto Rican. So he's got a pretty diverse background, but in terms of nationality, he is American.
Okay, what's his race?
Yeah, so race can be a little more complex since it's not as clear-cut as nationality. In Bruno Mars's case, he's of mixed race. His father has Puerto Rican and Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry, and his mother was of Filipino and Spanish descent. So he identifies with a pretty diverse racial background.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. If you got any more questions, just
listen. And I mentioned this on another episode. The whole foundational Black American, what's the correct word for that? The introduction to that term, the surge in that term, this is the problem that I had with it. Not so much about what the foundational Black Americans want, which is reparations, and they feel they deserve the reparations, not the black immigrants from other countries. I can respect that. But that young lady who was speaking about Bruno Mars, she, in my opinion, and you could attack me in the comment section, just keep it respectful, she represents those that champion the foundational Black American agenda. Doesn't sound like the right word to use, so I won't use agenda, but the mission of foundational Black Americans and their talking points. See, when she starts to say things like Bruno Mars, I believe she said he's not black. All right, I'd have to go back, but here's the thing that is very divisive with all these categories and stuff. Categories are necessary. I'm not going to say it's not necessary, but here's where it becomes divisive. What Bruno Mars, who should he identify as? First of all, he's making good feel good music. Let's start at the very beginning of what he does. He makes feel good music. There's a lot of people out here that I really don't believe want to feel good. They want to live in misery. Or maybe they don't want to live in misery, but they're in misery and they want everyone to see it their way because they're miserable. He makes feel-good music, so for that music, I'm glad he's around. Anyone who's making feel-good music that we could dance to and feel uplifted, are doing a good thing. All right? I don't care how you package it. You're doing a good thing, as opposed to doing what? Music about killing one another? What are we talking about here? What are we really talking about here? His brand has always been putting out feel-good music, so what are we talking about here? Then when you're talking about he's not black and you try to talk about white people they really prefer to embrace black culture by non-black people. It's crazy talk. He comes from mixed race. All right. Is that his fault? It's not his fault. He is what he is. He is who he is. All right. And I don't see how that's a bad thing. Again, he can't win. He can't win with a select few. Wouldn't matter what music he put out. It wouldn't matter what music. I don't even understand why this is an issue about the song he put out. And I listened to the song and I like it. And yes, it does sound like stuff that he normally puts out, but he's sticking to his brand. Don't most brands do that? They tweak some things and introduce new things, but they pretty much stick with the base, what made them what it is. And that's with any brand. Every brand pretty much sticks with what got them there, and then they just add different things to it to make them greater. He's sticking to what he knows. And saying that he makes music, for weddings and stuff like that, I don't see how that's not even a bad thing. Because it'd be songs like this that get placements in movies because it's not destructive in nature. It's not vile, it's not violent. If anything, this is a blueprint to study, but no, you don't want to study that. You want to nitpick about who's putting out what music. And let me tell you something else. All right, and this is to the black audience that's watching. If we spent more time supporting one another, we wouldn't have to care who's supporting what music. I don't even excuse me, I'm still battling that cold. I don't know why that's a talking point on what another nationality is doing and who they're supporting. The funny thing is these other nationalities don't care what we're supporting. You name a group of people that would concentrate on who's supporting their music but us. No, it would only be a talking point from us about, oh, they only support, and let's not even talk about the music industry. I know she brought up who didn't get awards. She mentioned New Edition, and she had a point with that. She had a point when she mentioned Prince. But here's the thing, we always knew the music industry was shady. I said this just a few episodes ago. We've always known the music industry was shady. So why do you think anything's going to change now? Again, if we concentrated more on supporting one another, we wouldn't have to care about what other people are doing. If we concentrated on keeping our masters instead of selling it once we get big, which has become a new norm now, then we would go places. But no. Money's the root of all evil, like I said. We're selling our masters. We get so big, and then once we know we can get a big price tag for it, we sell it because we're selfish. We don't think about our grandkids' children, their children. We should be keeping our masters. These other groups of people that are out there, they're smart. They don't just give up masters. They keep that for generational wealth. We get big and it's like, I want to cash out. All right, we do almost everything wrong, but then we want to complain about who's making what kind of music and who's really black and who's not black, and then you wonder why we're all over the place. We can't even properly identify a community that we belong to because there's a group of people that are just constantly dividing us as if we're not already divided. And if you disagree with me, I'll see you in the comments. We're so divided, it's disgusting. It wasn't until this whole foundational Black American term came out that I started realizing, wow, I guess I'm not part of the Black Americans. Although I was born here. No, my parents were not born here, but I was born here. But thanks to foundational Black American, I realized, let me just keep my mouth shut and I guess make my way over to the Caribbean, back to Trinidad, because that's who's going to support me. Because when push comes to shove, I guess the foundational Black Americans will be looking at me like I don't belong. Which I'm not crying about it. Let me just say that too. I'm not crying about it because one thing you'll realize in this life, especially as a black man, is that you got so many battles to fight, literally and figuratively. It's ridiculous. So if foundational Black Americans don't accept me as a Caribbean Black American, so be it. I really don't have time to even think about it. I got so much other things that I'd like to do in this lifetime that I don't let anything deter me from where I'm planning to go. So let me just finish this guy's video and I'm gonna go on to the next one.
Black content and black culture from non-black people, right? And this has been proven and studied, you feel me? Like they'll get certain things that black people tweet or black videos or just black creations and just throw a white face on it and just see how people react. And the reactions are very differently. The reactions for the non-black person are much more positive and receptive, while the black person that's doing the same exact thing is being pushed away. You know what I'm saying? So she hit that right on the head. Like, that's 1,000% right. I believe someone like Uptown Funk and the New Jack Swing that he was doing, a lot of those early reminiscences of 90s R&B that he did, I believe only he could do that because he wasn't black. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about that is, you would have black artists that do that. They just won't go nowhere. It just won't work for them. You feel me? So I get the frustrations that many people are displaying.
Listen, and this is for Delvin. When you say things like that, I need you to also follow up with the artist you're talking about. I need that. I don't know if anyone watching that needs that. Anyone watching this needs that, but I need that. So when you say that other artists have tried it, but they don't, I need to know who they are. Because here's the thing, and we have to be honest about this. When we're talking the entertainment business, it's always been about if they could sell you. It's always been about that. Talent, yes. If you have talent, that's a plus. That makes you extra special. But they need to know they can sell you. How do you look? Are you charismatic? Are you attractive? Are you in shape? Then, of course, if you're talented and you could actually sing and so on and so forth, then you're out of here. They could really move you. So that's why I need to know who's the other people he's talking about that have done things like this. Things like what Bruno Mars has been doing. I need to know who those acts are to know if what he's saying is factual. But I'll let him continue.
Because of that fact right there. That's a fact. It just is what it is. But here's the thing about that, right? Do we 100% blame Bruno Mars for that? We have to look at it for real. Like, audiences like stuff, especially white audiences, they like stuff that they don't have to dive deep in. You know what I'm saying? If it's very surface level, very just nonchalant, very just uptown funk you up. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that is cool. Like, is nothing to think about.
Bruno Mars' music is simplified. And this is what I have to say to black people, black folk, if I'm even allowed to, being that I'm not a foundational black American. But I'm going to say it anyway. Again, stop worrying about what everybody else is thinking of us or you. Let me not say us because I don't know if I'm accepted. All right? Stop thinking about what everybody else thinks of you. Just believe in yourself. Take the steps forward to doing something. If you're an artist, be true to your artistry. Don't be fake. Don't be a gimmick. Tell your story the way you want to tell it and see what happens with it. That's all you can do. Don't sell your soul and change the way you want to present yourself for anyone. Just be who you are. And hopefully those that look like you and identify with you will embrace you and support you, and you'll have a successful career. Point blank, period. Is it going to be a bumpy road? It's absolutely going to be a bumpy road. Is it going to be fair? No, it's not going to be fair. We're talking about the music industry. We're talking about the entertainment industry. None of anything that comes out of the entertainment industry is fair. So you can forget about it. So you can get on any platform and complain about it. It's not going to change a thing. Because it's not enough of us in high positions within the industry that are doing things accordingly and fair in the first place. So even if you see someone that looks like you in the industry, they've been corrupted pretty much. The higher up you go is a bunch of corruption. I don't care what anyone says. You could try to tell me otherwise. I don't believe it. The higher up you go, the more zeros, the more commas, is more corruption. All right? So the fact that you're expecting some type of like fairness in the game, like you bring it, the young lady bringing up New Edition again, and the Prince not having certain awards, it's just, listen, all right? We saw it with 50 Cent, all right? You want to talk about cultural appropriation? Eminem comes out and they regard him as the best rapper ever. I personally don't connect with Eminem's music, but yet he had some songs that I do like. I do recognize that he's talented. I will never say he's not talented, but I don't necessarily, his music doesn't necessarily resonate with me. He gives 50 Cent an opportunity, which 50 Cent is grateful for to this day. I think all 50 Cent's fans are grateful for it, and I appreciate Eminem for doing that, because 50 Cent was dropped, I think, from Columbia when he got shot, because he had to deal with Columbia. He put together an album. It had a single, I think, with Beyonce on it. He got shot, and then they dropped him, and then he was looking for a label, and no one wanted to deal with him because they thought he was just too, they didn't want to deal with the streets and the drama of the streets. But with that being said, through Eminem, 50 Cent got a second opportunity, and you see where he landed. But where I'm going with this is 50 Cent himself didn't get an award for doing the numbers that he did for Get Rich or Die Trying, which is just ridiculous. But again, that's another example of how the industry just doesn't play fair. It doesn't play fair. All right? And Bruno, I think, I was about to say Bruno Mars, 50 Cent, we can all agree, is black. Okay? Black, he showed improved with his numbers. And look at how that turned out for him. I was going to do an episode on this recent award ceremony where Michael B. Jordan lost to this recently released movie about the ping pong player, if I'm not mistaken, Marty Supreme. Some say that's not fair. I don't know how a movie that comes out late in the year 2025, I think someone said it dropped on Christmas Day. Don't quote me on that. But Sinners came out months prior. How is this guy getting an award over Michael B. Jordan just off of when the movie dropped? Now, maybe that doesn't matter, the time of when it drops. I could be wrong on that. But, and I haven't seen that movie, by the way, so that's another reason why I held off on speaking about that. But again, the reason why I'm bringing that up is some people look at it like Michael B. Jordan got snubbed. But again, welcome to the industry. If you think the industry is going to play fair, it's not going to play fair. And going back to what we're talking about with Bruno Mars, the reason why it's working for him is because he's sellable. Whether you like it or not, this is a business. Take your emotions out of this. It's the music business. You know that saying, it's show business. It's business. Take your emotions out of it. And if you don't look the part, if they feel like they can't sell you, you're not in shape. You don't look like someone who's like a people person that people could, you're approachable. All of those things matter. They take a look at you and they say, can we work with this person? And if they don't feel like they could work with you, they're not going to put the dollars behind you. And then there's the dark side of that also. If they don't think they can manipulate you, they're not going to put dollars behind you. And if they don't think that they can get certain favors from you, they're not going to work with you. It's a very dirty industry, which is why I tell you all the time I could care less about being part of it. But by the way, shameless plug, The Harvest is coming out soon. That's my album. Artist's name is Denalo. Let's continue.
Nothing to really push anything forward. So if a Bruno Mars can give them that with a much smilier face, can we really be mad at Bruno Mars? You know what I'm saying? The thing that I think a lot of black people get upset with Bruno Mars is that people look at Bruno Mars as high-level art. And that's where it gets tricky at, right? Now, if we're just looking at Bruno Mars as a hit maker and somebody creating music, I think you shouldn't hate on Bruno Mars. I think he's doing what he do. I think he likes what he does. I don't think he's doing something that he doesn't like. I think he likes what he does. You know what I'm saying? And I think he enjoys it. And the fact that he can get paid off it, I think he enjoys it 1,000 times more, right?
I'm actually not going to play his entire video. I don't think it's necessary. Listen, if we're talking about Bruno Mars as if he's a gimmick, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to call out Eminem again. Because when he came out with his single, I was like, what is this? And that whole My Name Is single, I know a lot of people love it. They're going to hate me in the comment section. That's fine. I thought that was all the way a gimmick. I was like, what is this? What is this? Because for the same reason the young lady has an issue with Bruno Mars, which I don't have an issue with him, because again, this is what his brand has been putting out. I had an issue with Eminem's My Name Is, and I don't even know if that's the name of the single, but My Name Is, the Slim Shady record. The issue I had with that is The music that resonates with me, and this has nothing to do about Eminem being white. Let me be clear on that, okay? The issue I had with Eminem and the way he came, the way he was introduced to us, is it seemed like a gimmick. I can't stand gimmicks. The rap music that I grew up on and I resonated with were the artists that were sharing their story, and their music wasn't that far from who they are outside of the music. Yes, some of them had stage names and AKAs and stuff like that. But that's the reason why I like Nas. Because Nas, he is who he is. His name is Nasir Jones. He came out with his name Nas. There was no gimmicks involved. When he told stories about Queensbridge, he was from Queensbridge. It was nothing, Now, granted, Eminem told stories about his mother and his daughter. My name is Slim Shady and all that stuff. It just sounded like it was a gimmick. I could be wrong on that. I have to go back listen to the song. But at the time, I was like, what is this? Right? What works for me with rap is when somebody, or any music genre, is when someone is just being who they are. I don't want to see you come out as like some type, like we're watching a movie and you're portraying somebody. When artists come out like that, that's when I'm a little bit wary about their music. That doesn't mean that, I won't like a song or two, but I prefer when someone just comes out, this is who I am, and they present their music and they allow the audience to decide whether or not they like it or not. Bruno Mars, I don't know too much about the young man, but his first album I thought was phenomenal. And although I haven't been keeping up with his music, it's just hearing this single off of this upcoming album, I think it's just as good as when he first came out. I don't have any issues with it. But let me go on to the next clip.
I completely disagree with those that say that Bruno Mars makes the same music over and over again. I think that is quite impossible when he dibbles and dabbles into various genres quite effortlessly. He can go from pop to R&B, from R&B to hip-hop to rock to soul, funk. Uptown Funk sounds nothing like When I Was Your Man. When I Was Your Man sounds nothing like Versace on the Floor. Versace on the Floor sounds nothing like Young Girls. Young Girls sounds nothing like Locked Out of Heaven. Locked Out of Heaven sounds nothing like Treasure. Even if you listen to his music on a commercial level, that is quite impossible to say. With all that being said, my thoughts on the lead single, I Just Might. Every time I say that title, I feel the need to sing, Just Might Be a Hoe, what am I missing? Shout out to Summer Walker and Party Next Door. But yes, I Just Might from his upcoming album, The Romantic. I definitely like the song. I've played it multiple times throughout the day today. It is poppy, it's funky, but for my first listen, I said, this feels like this was a safe choice that they made to choose as the lead single. It is true to Bruno Mars sonically, very radio friendly. What I think will make me love this song, and it's very similar to my experience with some of Beyonce's songs, is a performance. Grammys be calling Bruno up because they have the similar thing of I might like a song or may not even like a song, but then when they perform it, I fall in love with it. What I do love is the fact that we're hearing Bruno Mars' voice on a fresh track, especially on a solo track. We have heard a few collaborations from him over the past year with Lady Gaga, Sexy Red, Rose, I think that's how you say her name. Previous body of work before this one was with Anderson .Paak, the Silk Sonic duo. To make sure that I'm clear, because I know how some of you like to tussle, safe does not mean that it's bad. It is far from bad. It is heavily unlikely that Bruno Mars can make a bad song. So I want you to understand, when I'm saying that it's safe, doesn't mean that it's bad at all. It's going to get played. Don't get it twisted. But like I said, on the basis of this being the lead single for his first album in 10 years, and also based on the standards that I set for Bruno Mars as the icon that he is, yes, it's safe. It does not blow my mind, but it's a good song. It is a good song. And that is my thoughts on Bruno Mars' new single, I Just Might. Like I said in my previous video, so excited for his return, excited for his album, his upcoming tour, and I can't wait to hear what is in store next month, I believe. Yeah, it's next month.
All right, let's get into Joe Budden, and I'm going to wrap this up.
Take that out the equation. So 10 years ago, you did this.
Correct.
And now 10
with
years
a different
later,
genre. What a deal.
Yeah. You back with an old band. You back with the old band outfits. You back with that sound. And I think the production be productioning, so I don't really want to get to that.
Shout out to D-Mal.
Yeah, shout out to D-Mal. But what they choose to do to it and how they choose to present, Bruno Mars, I'm not mad at somebody that says he comes off like a caricature of himself. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. When do we get like, and I'm not saying this because
objective.
I'm not saying it yet.
but it's starting to look like a bit.
But yeah, it looks like a bit. That's what they're saying.
always-
It's a similar character. It's always
It has been
that's
lately.
what the problem is.
It has been lately.
Lately.
Lately. But we'll see. We'll see.
And again, if the last character bit you did worked,
That's interesting. Bruno Mars comes across as a caricature of himself, right? When has Bruno Mars ever been Bruno Mars? And I would need someone to jump in the comments and tell me this. Because to me, he's the same person he's been since day one. But I could be wrong. Now, remember, this is 2026. And to call someone to assume or accuse someone to being a caricature of themselves is interesting, considering most everyday people on social media, they're a caricature of themselves. There is no one real on social media. And yeah, I took it there. So we're going to talk about Bruno Mars as if we're not living in a world of fake asses, fake lashes, fake muscles, steroids. Yeah. Well, where else can I go with this? Filters. Only posting shots of your best days, never your worst days, your best outfits, even if it sets you back a couple weeks. Even if you miss payments on car notes or rent to get some of these items. We live in such a fake world that who cares if Bruno Mars is a caricature of himself. Okay? And yes, I said it. Because who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? How about we just appreciate good music for being good music? If you don't like it, this is why radio, I believe, is declining, if it hasn't already declined already. This is why you have the option of syncing your playlist to your car or to your Bluetooth device. You don't have to listen to Bruno Mars if you don't like him. You know? You have that option. So if he is, in fact, a caricature of himself, who cares? Really, who cares? I'll let them finish and then we'll wrap this up.
I'm not mad.
Yeah.
You're giving them a Bruno
'Cause
Mars
to me, you
superstar
can't-
pass.
you
It's
can't-
not if you do the same thing.
You can't
Y'all are saying
discount
this
that
is damn near the
Anderson
same
.Paak
thing.
album. You can't.
I do. Just like artists rappers that'll do a joint project with this person over here. I'm not taking that the same way I'm taking your solo discography.
Artists should take 10 years in between projects and it sound the same. Take that out. Take that
so
out the
now if
equation.
I go.
Listen, as an artist, you do what you feel, never what everybody else feels. I know you might. I know it sounds like a contradiction because artists, depending on what they do, they would want the public to appreciate their art. But at the end of the day, as an artist, you have to do what you feel and what you feel only. It's not a joint project. As an artist, you're an artist by yourself. You stand alone on your island. You create, and then when you disperse your art, you wait to see how the rest of the world feels about it. So, Bruno, keep doing what you're doing. Forget what the naysayers are saying. You're never going to satisfy everybody, and that's just the way life is. That's my thoughts on this. What's your thoughts? As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, stay honorable.